Hi Floss Tube. Welcome back to my channel. This is Lacey with Lacey Makes. It's been a hot minute since I have filmed a video. I think my last video was on the 4th of July. And I didn't do that. I didn't take this long of a break on purpose. I just wasn't in the mood to film anything. I was lazy. And then like 4 weeks ago, I was like, I'm in the mood to film a video. And then I got COVID. The COVID bug struck my house. Me and my husband got it. I don't know if the kids got it or not. They quarantined like they were supposed to. But they like had a runny nose and a cough, like normal fall allergies. And I actually thought mine was fall allergies until I lost my sense of smell and taste, and then I knew it was COVID. But I was very lucky. My husband was very lucky. We didn't get really sick. It was just like we had a really bad cold mixed with a really bad flu bug. But yeah, so even though I wasn't motivated to film, I was very motivated to stitch. So if you follow me on Instagram at Lacey Makes, you have probably seen all the stuff I've been stitching. So anyway, since it's been so long, I thought maybe I would just start with what I did during Sampler September, and then what I've stitched the month of October for spooky season, because spooky season is my favorite. You can tell my pumpkin dress. I hope you can tell those are pumpkins and not just orange polka dots. Anyway, I will start with some previous finishes. This first one is Spooky String by Lizzie Kate. And I stitched this last year during spooky season. And I think I finished it, but I finished it like right before Halloween, so I didn't get it fully finished. So, I don't know, I think these probably are a little long. You tell me. But this is a wooden piece that I got from Joann's, just in the unfinished wood section, and I chalk painted it black, and I didn't like seal it or wax it or anything, so I'll just let it naturally distress over time. But I stitched this on Tea Coffee Dyed Ada, and I tried my best to get it centered. I hope I did. But I tied this is just fabric that I ripped into a long strip, and I did 2 knots on each end and 1 in the middle and just glued it on. And then this bow I'm still new to bow making, so this is really the only one I can do really well. And then I've got a little ghost from Hobby Lobby just sitting in the middle, and this sits behind me on my Hoosier cabinet between my haunted house cookie jars on a little easel. Yeah, I love this one a lot. And then this second one, the place where I live in Missouri, they still had the fair. I don't live in Springfield, Missouri, but I work in Springfield, Missouri, and I live really close to Springfield, Missouri. So they do the Ozark Empire Fair every year, and this was the first year I entered any stitching into the fair, and this was one of the pieces I entered, one of the 2 pieces that I entered. Oh. This is Jolly Jack. He is so cute. I stitched him a couple of years ago. And I just finished him right before the fair. I finished him specifically for the fair. But I got this is the pumpkin checkerboard that everybody was trying to snag last year in the Target dollar spot, and I found one last year. So I had him. I bought it with him in mind. I just didn't quite finish him. And then I made him a little bow and a covered button. And then these jingle bells, this jingle bell is actually a pumpkin. I got him in orange and black from Joann's last year. But he won first place and grand champion at the fair. So I'm kind of pretty proud of that. Yeah, he's super cute. And then this last one, I also entered into the fair, but it didn't win anything. But it's just a little ornament, and I don't have the pattern, but it's one of the Little House Needleworks holiday one, and it was the Your House one. So I stitched it with the called for colors and put our last name on it, and just put a little ribbon at the top and one of these wreaths. I think I've got 3 more of these done that I need to finish, and then I've got 3 of the, oh, this is called Hometown Holidays, the Hometown Holidays series by Little House Needleworks. And then the farm one, I have 3 of the farm series done that I need to finish for this year. All right, so finishes. I finished the 2020 Prairie Schooler Santa, and he was my work lunch break stitch for the last, I think it took me a week and a half to get him stitched up just on my hour lunch break at work. Maybe an hour and 15 minutes. But that's what he looks like. And he is stitched up on 18 count Vintage Country Mocha Aida. Since we last met, I have discovered 18 count Aida and just stitching with one strand, and your stitches look so nice with just one strand of floss. So I'm really excited that I figured out the smaller count with the one strand of floss, because I love the way it looks. And I've only done one other Prairie Schooler Santa, and I did him on 14 count with 2 strands. But I think from here on out, I'm going to stitch all the Prairie Schoolers on 18 count with 1 strand. But I love him. He might be, the Prairie Schooler Santa that I stitched up first was my favorite, but I think he's my favorite now. And then this is a Bent Creek pattern. Fa La La. He's a cute, I love llamas. I really don't decorate for fall. I decorate for Halloween. But I love llamas so much that I got him. And look how cute and tiny he is. Now this is on 14 count Tea Coffee Dyed Aida, so he's really small. He's so cute. I love the variegation. I stitched in all the called for colors. He's so cute. I'm gonna finish him. I got a little pumpkin piece from Walmart, I think, and I'm gonna finish him on it and then take him into work, and he can sit on my desk until Christmas. And I put the Christmas decor out. And then this next one was from Luminous Fiber Arts Haunted little booklet. There's a bigger piece and then these 3 ornaments. And I made this one first because it had all the good stuff in it, like the crow and the cat and the ghost. But I want to stitch all of these. I love Misty Purcell's patterns. They're so pretty. Here's that, and I just stitched this on plain white, all the called for colors, and oh, it's so cute. I wish I would have finished it in time to put on my Halloween tree, but I didn't. Yeah, I can't wait to stitch the rest of them up for next year. And then this one, while I was sick with COVID, I did not feel like stitching, but I spent a lot of time in my craft room because that's where I worked from home at, I took a lot of naps. I worked a little bit in the morning, but then I always had to take a nap in the afternoon. But while I was in there working, I was just like going through things and organizing some stuff. And I found this old whip. I think this whip is 6 or 7 years old. It's Arsenic and Old Lace by the Little Stitcher. I think you can still get her patterns on Etsy. And that's where I got this one, just on Etsy. The designer's the Little Stitcher. Arsenic and Old Lace is one of my very favorite movies. It's old. It's really old. It's black and white. It's got Cary Grant in it. But it's so cute. It's set on Halloween, and if you've never seen it, you should totally watch it. It's so cute. But this is my finish. Look how stiff this Aida is. I think it could stand up by itself. It's so stiff. But I stitched it with all the called for colors. This was one of my very first projects. But I pulled it out and I was looking at it, and I think I only had to stitch the white on this side and then all these spider webs, and I was done. There is a white lace pattern down here that matches this one, but I was like, I'll just finish this up a little bit and just call it done. And I have a frame. I think I'm gonna put it in myself. And honestly, this Aida is so stiff. I think I could cut it the exact size of the frame and just stick it in there like a piece of paper. I think I might try it instead of having to pin it or anything like that. So I'll try it. I can always stitch it again if it messes up, because that was one of my very first pieces, so it's not, I mean, none of my pieces are perfect, but it's a little rougher than what I have now. But those were all of my finishes. So for whips, I want to show you what I stitched on for Sampler September. So since the last time I filmed a video, I have found the joy of samplers. I think I mentioned in one of my first videos that I wasn't too keen on samplers at first. But I've gradually grown to fall in love with all the samplers, and I found Brenda and the Cereal Starter on Floss Tube, Brenda and Laura, and I binge watched all of their videos, and I want them to be my best friends. I'm kind of a creeper, but oh my gosh, I love them so much. And then all the other like big sampler stitcher YouTubers. My mind's blanking. Crosshatch Quilts, Christy from Crosshatch Quilts, Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. I'm blanking on everybody else's name, but I've watched all their videos and I love their I love samplers now. So I went sampler crazy. And I started a few before Sampler September, and I worked on them during September, so I'll show those first. I started Halloween at Hollyberry Farm. I think this was the very first sampler I started. This is by Stacy Nash Primitives. And I didn't like the white leaves. And I didn't have, well, I had the called for colors. I think it calls for carriage black. But in the picture, the flowers look blue, but the colors they called for that I had in my stash, they were pure black. They didn't have any blue to them whatsoever. So I changed up all the colors. For the flowers, I did Cauldron by Classic Colorworks. It's kind of a purpley blue. And then for the green, I changed the vines from white to green. I did Avocado by Classic Colorworks. And then I just got some golds that I thought looked good. And then the house was white in the pattern, but this fabric is Fog by Picture This Plus, and the white disappeared on it. So I changed the house to gray. but that's how far I've gotten on that one. And I worked on that during Sampler September. And then the second one, I think I showed in a haul portion of one of my older videos. It is Huckleberry Farm by the Blue Flower. And I started this before Sampler September, but I worked on it. And I'm using all the called for colors and the called for fabric. Anytime I take a picture of the fabric, it looks gray and not this purpley color. But in person, it has a lot of purple in it. And the fabric is Shale by Picture This Plus. It's a very pretty purpley gray. Hope I'm getting it all in there. But I can't wait to get this one finished and hung up. I love that yellow house and all the bears on the pattern. I haven't stitched one of the bears yet, but I love them. And then so for my brand new starts during Sampler September, I started a new pattern every week. So I had 5 starts. There were technically only 4 weeks, 4 weeks and 3 days, but I crammed a 5th start in there. And the first one I started was American Sampler by Plum Street Samplers. And I love this one so much, but I didn't think it was going to be my favorite one of the bunch that I started. But I started stitching the bricks on that house, and I love to stitch a brick house. So this is how far I got on American Sampler. I think that's a pretty good start. I did all the mortar for the bricks. I didn't fill in any of the bricks yet. It was so fun. And this is 18 count vintage country mocha. I'm stitching samplers that you can stitch on Aida right now. But I have some linen to try to stitch on because I have purchased sampler scents that have like the specialty stitches or the half stitches that you need. And you can't find even weave in pretty colors like you can linen. So I have purchased some linen. I haven't braved trying to use them yet. And then for my second week, I hopped on the Coming to America bandwagon because the second week in September was when this stitch along started. I bought the full kit from my local LNS, which is in Branson, Missouri. It's Cecilia's. So I went ahead and bought the whole kit. And I love this. I'll tell you a secret. Please don't tell Brenda Gervais. I love this pattern and I love the way it looks finished, but I did not enjoy stitching on this. And you can tell because I didn't get very much done. Oops. This is all I got done that week. It's just, like I said, I love it. And I love the way it looks with like the finish, but it's not fun to stitch. And I don't know why. So I'm hoping maybe after Christmas, after Halloween and Christmas stitching is all done, maybe this will appeal to me a little bit more than what it is. So, and that's, this was the fabric that they kitted it up with at Cecilia's, and it's vintage country mocha. And then for the third week of Sampler September, I started Come Into My Garden by Blackbird Designs. This had been in my stash for a couple of months. And I love it so much. And I can't believe all these beautiful stitches and motifs are able to stitch on Aida. When I bought the pattern, I was like, there's no way there's going to be over one stitching and specialty stitches, but there's not. They're all full crosses, no over one stitching, and it'll go on Aida. And the fabric I bought for this, I bought off of 123 Stitch. It is Earthen by Picture This Plus. Look how pink this is. In the picture online, it's like a taupey, browny sampler color. Like perfect for samplers. So when I got it, I was like, oh no, that's not what I thought I was getting. But I put the floss up to it, and I love the pink on pink. And none of the pinks are close enough that they get lost. So that actually ended up really good. The only problem is I bought a second piece of this because I thought it would be perfect for samplers, but it's only going to be perfect for a specific sampler that I don't have yet because it's pink, but I love pink. And then for the 4th week of Sampler September, I thought this one was going to be my favorite, and I love it. It's a good one. But it is Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut. I think everybody and their mother has started this one for sure. It's just so pretty. And this is another one that I thought was going to have a lot of specialty stitches or over ones, but it's all full crosses. Maybe a little bit of back stitching. No, I don't think there's any back stitching either. So I'm able to stitch this one on my 18 count Aida. And this is how far I've gotten on this one. And what I've been doing is if there's not a space to put your name or initials, I make my initials a different color than the rest of the alphabet because my initials are in a consecutive in a row, so they don't skip around in the alphabet. It's L and R. So I should make them a different color. So I made them the blue color in this one. And this is on Vintage Country Mocha. I think Vintage Country Mocha is a really good sampler color. And then for the 5th half week, I started Stacy Nash Primitive's Christmas at Hollyberry Farm. It's really cute. I love these patterns. I have the patriotic one too. But I just love that Christmas one. And that's by Stacy Nash. And this one was the one I didn't get very much on. I just got a little bit of the border started. And this is on 18 count Aida by Picture This Plus. The color's Ariel. And it was really, really bright blue when I got it. So I dunked it in the tea and coffee dye for just a few minutes and to grunge up the fabric. And I really like how it turned out. I wish I had done that to the fog that I put Halloween at Hollyberry Farm on, but I just got a little bit of the border. And then that was all I did for Sampler September. So I got quite a few sampler starts going that I can pick back up once the holidays are over. So I want to show you some spooky starts that I did for the month of October. And I started a lot, and I actually had planned on starting a couple more, but I caught the Christmas stitchy bug. I did not want to stitch Christmas for the longest time. And then one day I was like, oh, Christmas sounds good. So I quit a couple days before November and started some Christmas. But I started at First Cock's Crow by Blackbird Designs, and this is in the Sisters book. I love this so much. Like, this is my dream sampler right here. And again, this is one that you can stitch on Aida. There is a Lazy Daisy stitch for the leaves, but you can easily just make them X's, and that's what I'm going to do. But I love this pattern so much. And then I also love this one. It's called Witch No More. but I didn't get a chance to start this one. It calls for a ton of floss, so I just didn't splurge and buy the floss on that one. But I got quite a bit done on that one. I started in the middle on this one because I thought it would just be easier. And this is Spice. The fabric color is Spice by Picture This Plus, and I thought it was perfect because it's dark and the oranges and blacks pop on it. I know a lot of people have been starting this, but I've seen like on Instagram and Floss Tube where a lot of people have said that they don't like the moon, like the face of the moon, so they didn't stitch the face. That's my favorite part of the whole thing. It just looks so vintagey. So I love that one. And these are in no particular order. I didn't put these in start order. And then this one, I guess you could say it was one of my unicorn charts, because it was kind of hard to find and I wanted it so bad. I saw it, somebody start it in the hashtag Dark October Stitching. Somebody was stitching on it and I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have that. But it's Garden of Erie by Plum Street Samplers. And it's just a twist on Garden of Eden with Frankenstein and Frankenstein's bride instead of Adam and Eve. And look at this vulture. He's so cute. I love this so much. And then this is some 18 count Aida that I dyed myself with dark brown Rit dye. And I thought it was perfect for Halloween stitching. But I got half, I started with this page. So I got half of the tree in the middle. I got half of Frankenstein. I got the cloud. So I got quite a good start on that one. And then this one is kind of morbid, but I love it. It's by The Primitive Hare, and it's called Lizzie Borden Took an Axe. It's real morbid, but I love it. And I did this on that same fabric. But I worked on this one for quite a few nights and got pretty far. I got her pear and her handkerchief done and a bunch of words. And then I started Salem Sisters, the first one by Plum Street Samplers. I also purchased the second one. I just love the poem on it. So cute. And then this is 18 count tea coffee dyed Aida. And same as Lizzie Borden, I got a lot of the words done. Words are so quick to stitch. I love that. And I did change, so the color of the moon is the same color as the pumpkin and the broom in the pattern, but it's not even, it wasn't an orange, it was a dark brown. So I changed, and I don't even know what I changed it to, but I changed the moon to that yellow color, and then I picked out an orange for the pumpkin because I didn't like the brown color that was used for all three. And then I, of course, started my October trucking along by stitching with the Housewives. And I just got a little bit of the truck in Calvin. I've come to the conclusion that I'm not going to get any of these trucks done this year. That hopefully I can get them done for the month of next year, starting with January. So I have the November and December one, and the January one should be shipping soon. So I'm gonna skip over November and December and just start on January and try to get the months done as they come next month. I did finish and fully finish June, so that one's good. And then from Tiny Modernist, I got Mouse's Halloween Stitching. Oh, she's so cute. And when I finish this, I'll probably keep it up in my sewing room all year because I'm spooky all year. that's her. And I put her on this is aqua Rit dyed fabric that I dunked in the tea and coffee for just a few minutes. She's really cute. And then I started, this is from Not Forgotten Farms. It's called Witches in the Air. I just liked that it was just solid black. All the little witches. Although I will say, when I was stitching it, it got a little tedious with just all that black. And this is on 18 count Vintage Country Mocha. I'm thinking I'm using Blackbird by Classic Colorworks, so it's not a solid black, it's a black brown color. And then this one was my October 1st start, and I was so excited to start it. This is Without a Mouse by Blackbird Designs. It's so cute. I love it. But the word mouse is stitched over one, so I had to put it on even weave. I had a piece of even weave that was tea coffee dyed that I thought would be, no, this is 28 count mushroom Lugana. So it's mushroom, the color is mushroom, and it's even weave. And instead of just plain black, I used Raven by the Gentle Art, and it is a green black. So that's how far I got on it. The even weave was kind of making me angry, so I just kind of put it a few stitches and then put it down, which sucks because I knew I loved the pattern so much, but I'll get back to it. And then my final whip is Trick or Treat by Stitching with the Housewives. And I bought this pumpkin because I was afraid they were going to sell out, because everything that Priscilla and Chelsea shows sells out. But my Hobby Lobby still has them. They have them all like on those very top shelves where they stick the overstock. They have a ton of them up there still. So I guess I didn't need to rush, but that's okay. I have it and I can finish it when I'm done. But I got her little sweater done in her face. I feel the variegation on the floss for her face, I feel like she looks like she has a 5 o'clock shadow, but I'm not pulling it out. So I got quite a bit done on her. That's all of my spooky whips. Since I haven't filmed a video in 3 months, I have a ton of haul. I haven't kept back my floss or fabric that I've purchased over the last 3 months, but I have put all of my patterns I've purchased in a little bag, and this bag is bursting with patterns. So what I thought would be fun is this video to show you all the spooky patterns that I bought. And then next time I'll pull out some more. Next time I'll probably pull out some Christmas ones to show you. But anyway, this is Spooky Row by Bent Creek. I have the Americana row that I've already started, but that's so cute. And then I got Midnight Ride by Blackbird Designs. And when I was at Cecilia's in Branson a couple weeks ago, they had this stitched on, it's a picture of this plus fabric, and it's like a limey green with like black modeling. I can't remember what the name of it was. It was something like Monster Mash or something. It was so cute. I want to do that for that. And then this is Tombstone Mansion by Chessie and Me. I'm trying to hold these where there's not a lot of glare. That's real cute. This is one that there's some over one stitching, so I wasn't real eager to get that one started. And then this is Salem Sisters 2. I like the poem on this one too. I love witches, and I like to read about the Salem witch trials and all that kind of stuff. So that's very interesting to me. And I like those. And then this one, I'm sure everybody knows about, Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. She's amazing. She just started Floss Tube a couple months ago, but like religiously does it every week, and everything she shows I want. And so she inspired this little pattern, and she changed the colors. She kept the colors the same, but she added in some orange. So I think I want to do that. I think she made her like her Venus flytraps orange, or maybe just her pumpkins orange. But anyway, it looks really good. And then, of course, I had to buy, when they re-released this, Casting a Spell by Blackbird Designs. And I'm going to buy the box from Hobby Lobby to finish it on. And then also by the Tiny Modernist. This was one that I thought I was going to cram in this week to start. But then, like I said, I wanted to start Christmas stitching. But that's okay, I'll start her another time. And this is Hen's Halloween Tea. And I belong to the Fabric Flair Fabric of the Month Club at Fat Quarter Shop. And this month it was spiderweb fabric, so I think that would be perfect for this. So I think I'll stitch that on the spiderweb fabric. And this is another one that's kind of morbid, but I love it so much. This is Not Forgotten Farms Weep Not. And it's a little lady in a coffin in her mourners. I love it. It's morbid, but I love it. Like I said, I'm creepy all year round. So I like her. And this is Halloween Quaker. I have so many Quakers I want to stitch. That's also a newfound thing, like samplers, Quakers. They're just so pretty. So this is the first Quaker I've bought. And then I've got, the pictures on these are terrible. They're really terrible. Like you can't even tell what they say. But this is Not Forgotten Farm Witch's Garden Sampler. I mean, you can't even see the picture on that. I haven't opened it up. I hope the charts looks okay. And then also from Not Forgotten Farm, I got Cross-Eyed Cat. It doesn't do me any good to hold up because you can't read it. It says like Eye of Newt, Wing of Bat, something something, the Cross-Eyed Cat.